The Henderson family's mansion, perched on a hillside overlooking the city, had always been a symbol of wealth and power. Rebecca Henderson, the family's matriarch, kept a close watch on everything that happened in her home. Despite her privileged position, she always maintained a discreet and observant demeanor, especially when it came to the well-being of her only son, Ethan. Ethan, a young billionaire who inherited both the fortune and intelligence of his mother, had recently started dating Olivia. Olivia was beautiful, charming, and knew exactly how to behave at social events, but Rebecca had her suspicions. Determined to uncover the true nature of her son's girlfriend, Rebecca devised a bold plan. She would disguise herself as a new housekeeper in the mansion while her son was away on a long business trip. Determined to find out the truth about Olivia, Rebecca knew she had to act with discretion and intelligence. She decided that the best way to investigate was to infiltrate her own home as a maid. For this, she enlisted the help of Ethan's trusted personal assistant, Clara. Rebecca arranged a discreet meeting with Clara at a secluded cafe. Clara, a dedicated and loyal woman to the Henderson family, was surprised by Rebecca's request, but readily agreed upon hearing the matriarch's concerns. Rebecca explained her plan to Clara. She should suggest to Ethan the hiring of a new housekeeper, someone reliable and highly recommended. Clara knew that Ethan trusted her judgment, so this part of the plan would be relatively easy to execute. Clara returned to the office and waited for the right moment to approach Ethan, who was busy preparing for his business trip. "I have a recommendation for a new housekeeper. She is extremely qualified and trustworthy. I think she would be an excellent addition to your mansion's staff," Clara said carefully. Ethan pondered for a moment. "That sounds good. Do you trust her?" "Yes. It checked all her references. She's perfect for the job," Clara assured. Ethan nodded. "All right, Clara. I trust your judgment. Hire her, but I would like to speak with her personally when I return from my trip." With Ethan's approval, Clara made the necessary arrangement. A few days later, Rebecca arrived at the mansion in disguise, with a simple uniform and a new name. She was introduced to the staff as Rebecca, the new housekeeper. Rebecca quickly integrated into the mansion's routine, keeping a low profile. She diligently performed her tasks, observing everything around her and taking mental notes on Olivia's behavior. Her mission had only just begun, and she knew she needed to be patient and cautious. And so, Rebecca, with the loyal help of Clara, managed to infiltrate her son's mansion without raising any suspicion, starting an investigation that would reveal Olivia's true nature. At first, Olivia was delighted with the idea of having a new helper. "Hello, I'm Rebecca, the new housekeeper," she introduced herself with a smile, dressed in a simple uniform. "That's great. We really needed someone to help with the chores," Olivia replied, not suspecting the true identity of the woman in front of her. She was pleased with the prospect of having someone to fulfill her orders. As days passed, however, Olivia's attitude began to change. Initially, she seemed kind and courteous, but soon her true personality began to surface. "Rebecca, could you clean that window again? It wasn't to my liking," Olivia ordered in a tone that exuded superiority. Rebecca, maintaining her composure, complied without question. "Of course, ma'am, I'll do my best," she replied, noting the disdainful look Olivia gave her. Rebecca discreetly observed the dynamics between Ethan and Olivia. She noticed that when the two talked, Olivia was affectionate and attentive. However, whenever she wasn't speaking with Ethan, Olivia transformed. "Ethan, darling, do you mind if I do some shopping with your card? I saw some things I'd love to have," Olivia said sweetly, smiling at Ethan. He, captivated by her beauty and charm, nodded without hesitation. "Course, love. Buy whatever you want." Olivia's manipulative behavior didn't escape Rebecca's notice. She saw how Olivia used her looks and charm to get what she wanted from Ethan. "Rebecca, bring my tea to the garden in exactly 10 minutes, Olivia ordered one day, not even looking at her. "Yes, ma'am," Rebecca replied, watching Olivia walk away. She knew she needed more evidence before talking to Ethan about her concerns. One sunny afternoon, Rebecca found Olivia on the phone, talking suspiciously. "Yes, he believes everything I say. Soon, I'll have full access to his accounts," Olivia whispered, unaware that Rebecca was nearby. The matriarch made a mental note of that information, determined to continue her investigation. With each passing day, Olivia's facade of perfection crumbled a little more. She treated Rebecca with increasing arrogance, as if the new housekeeper were just an object in her luxurious life. "Rebecca, could you scrub the kitchen floor again? It seems you didn't do it right last time," Olivia said with a critical look. "Yes, ma'am," Rebecca replied, controlling the frustration she was beginning to feel. Rebecca knew she was close to uncovering the whole truth about Olivia. She needed irrefutable proof to protect her son from his girlfriend's dubious intentions. And then, one day, while organizing papers in Ethan's office at Olivia's request, Rebecca found something that left her alarmed. A detailed plan by Olivia to steal a large sum of money from Ethan. With her heart racing, Rebecca realized she had the evidence she needed. However, she knew she had to act cautiously. Revealing the truth to Ethan would require more than just proof. She would need a careful strategy to expose Olivia without devastating her son. Now, with the truth partially revealed, Rebecca was determined to protect Ethan and show Olivia for who she really was. Early one morning, Olivia called Rebecca to the kitchen. "I want you to clean the living room floor with this toothbrush," Olivia ordered, throwing the small brush at Rebecca's feet. The expression on her face was pure disdain. Rebecca, keeping her composure, picked up the brush and headed to the living room, where she began scrubbing the floor. As Rebecca worked, Olivia continued giving orders. "And when you're done, I want you to prepare lunch, but only serve me at 3 in the afternoon. Understood?" Rebecca nodded silently, planning each move carefully. She knew she had to endure these humiliations to reveal Olivia's true nature. In the following days, the situation worsened. Olivia made a point of waking Rebecca in the middle of the night for trivial tasks. "Rebecca, I want a glass of water now," Olivia shouted one time, waking Rebecca at 2 in the morning. Even though she was tired and hurt, Rebecca got up and fetched the glass of water. One afternoon while Rebecca was in the kitchen, Olivia entered abruptly. "Rebecca, isn't dinner ready yet?" she asked with a voice full of impatience. "I'm finishing up, Miss Olivia," Rebecca responded calmly. Olivia approached and, without any apparent reason, threw a glass on the floor, shattering it into pieces. "Look at this mess. Clean it up right now," Olivia exclaimed with a sneer. Rebecca, feeling the sting of humiliation, grabbed a cloth and began cleaning up the spilled wine, maintaining her calm. Olivia watched every move, waiting for an explosive reaction that never came. Rebecca continued to perform her duties with dedication, but her heart was heavy with the sadness of seeing how Olivia treated those around her. She was determined to uncover the full extent of her son's girlfriend's malice. On a quiet afternoon, Rebecca took advantage of a moment when Olivia was distracted to investigate the young woman's room. While organizing some clothes in the closet, she found a hidden envelope. Opening it, she discovered documents and notes revealing a plan to steal money from Ethan. Rebecca's heart raced, but she knew she needed to act cautiously. When Olivia returned to the mansion, she noticed a change in Rebecca's behavior. Rebecca's calm determination was now fueled by the knowledge of Olivia's plans. With a heavy heart, she continued her duties, all the while formulating a strategy to expose Olivia and protect her son from further harm. "What are you looking at?" Olivia asked suspiciously. "Nothing, Miss Olivia. I was just organizing your clothes," Rebecca replied, trying to sound natural. In the following days, Rebecca made sure to follow all of Olivia's orders with even more precision, waiting for the right moment to reveal what she had discovered. Olivia, for her part, continued to test Rebecca's patience, but never got the reaction she desired. Although hurt and exhausted, Rebecca remained steadfast in her purpose. She knew that soon, Ethan would return from his trip, and the truth about Olivia would come to light. Every degrading task, every humiliation, was one step closer to protecting her son from a manipulative and self-serving woman. Olivia began to realize that Rebecca was not just a simple housekeeper. The way Rebecca handled the degrading tasks and humiliations that Olivia imposed on her, without ever losing her calm or dignity, sparked growing suspicion in the young woman. To test this unshakable patience, Olivia decided it was time for a more direct provocation. One sunny afternoon, while Rebecca was cleaning the living room, Olivia entered with a glass of red wine. She walked slowly around the room, watching Rebecca's every move. Without any warning, she spilled the entire contents of the glass on an expensive Persian rug, a gift from one of Ethan's many successful business ventures. "Oh, what a disaster!" Olivia exclaimed with a sarcastic smile. "You should be more careful, Rebecca. Red wine is impossible to get out of this kind of rug." Rebecca calmly looked up, meeting Olivia's gaze. "Don't worry, ma'am. I'll take care of it immediately." As she knelt to clean the stain, Olivia watched her with a look of disdain. "You are really dedicated, aren't you? I wonder what motivates you to work so hard," Olivia said. Rebecca, without lifting her head, continued scrubbing the rug. "I believe we should all do our best in any circumstance. It's the least we can do." Olivia scoffed, unsatisfied with the response. "We'll see how far your dedication goes, Rebecca." Despite the provocations, Rebecca remained serene and focused. She knew she was close to uncovering the full truth about Olivia, and couldn't lose her composure now. Every disdainful gesture from Olivia only strengthened her determination. The next few days would be crucial. Rebecca needed to maintain the facade of a submissive housekeeper, while preparing the ground for the final revelation. The tension between the two women grew with each passing moment, and the mansion, usually a haven of peace and luxury, turned into a silent battlefield where truth and lies were about to collide. Olivia was furious. Rebecca's persistence and calmness deeply irritated her, like a pebble in her shoe that she couldn't get rid of. Since Ethan had left for his business trip, Olivia had tried everything to break the spirit of the new housekeeper. However, Rebecca seemed unfazed, facing each degrading task with a serenity that bordered on the supernatural. It was as if nothing could shake this woman. Determined to rid the mansion of Rebecca's annoying presence once and for all, Olivia decided that firing her was the only solution. That morning, she walked into the kitchen with a face that blended anger and authority. Rebecca, who was washing the breakfast dishes, looked up calmly as she entered. "Rebecca, I need to talk to you," Olivia said in a cold tone. "Of course, Miss Olivia. What do you need?" Rebecca replied, drying her hands on a dish towel. "I am not satisfied with your work. In fact, I think you are incompetent and disrespectful. Therefore, you are fired. I want you to pack your things and leave the mansion immediately." Rebecca remained silent for a moment, her eyes assessing Olivia with an almost unsettling calm. She knew she wasn't incompetent and certainly hadn't been disrespectful. However, questioning Olivia's decision would only make things worse. "Miss Olivia, I ask that you reconsider." "I have been doing my best to fulfill all the tasks given to me," Rebecca argued, keeping her voice serene. "There's nothing to reconsider. You are fired. End of discussion." Olivia snapped, leaving no room for further discussion. Rebecca nodded, resigned, and went to the maid's room to pack her things. As she packed, she thought about how Olivia had managed to deceive Ethan. The woman was manipulative, self-serving, and now, above all, a liar. But Rebecca had a trump card: the evidence she had found of Olivia's plan to steal money from Ethan. Olivia, on the other hand, was determined to get rid of Rebecca for good. She picked up the phone and called Ethan, who was still on his business trip. "Ethan, dear, I have some news." Rebecca decided to leave. She said this job isn't for her and that she doesn't want to stay here anymore. Olivia lied, her voice syrupy sweet. "Rebecca left? But why?" "That's a shame, I didn't even get to meet her," Ethan asked, surprised and disappointed. He liked the new housekeeper and didn't understand why she would leave so suddenly. She said she didn't adapt and prefers something quieter. "Don't worry, I'll find someone else to help us," Olivia assured, trying to hide the triumphant tone in her voice. On the other end of the line, Ethan sighed, disappointed. "All right, Olivia, I trust you to handle it." When the call ended, Olivia couldn't hide her smile of satisfaction. Finally, she had the mansion all to herself. Without Rebecca to interfere with her plans, she was free to manipulate Ethan as she pleased. Rebecca, on the other hand, left the mansion with a feeling of sadness, but also determination. She knew she had to find a way to open Ethan's eyes before it was too late. As she looked at the imposing house for the last time, she promised herself she would return and that the truth would be revealed. Olivia celebrated her victory in the mansion, believing she had eliminated the only threat to her plan. However, she had no idea that Rebecca was more determined than ever to expose her and protect her son from falling into the clutches of such a deceitful woman. A week had passed since Rebecca left the mansion. Ethan returned from his business trip, eager to see Olivia and unaware of what had happened, planned a family lunch to officially introduce his girlfriend to his mother. Ethan was beaming with happiness, believing that this meeting would be a positive milestone in his life. The day of the lunch arrived. The table was elegantly set in the dining room of the mansion, with fresh flowers and a fine selection of dishes. Olivia, impeccably dressed, was nervous, but hid her anxiety behind a confident smile. She had no idea that Ethan's mother was actually Rebecca, housekeeper she had humiliated and fired. Ethan entered the room holding Olivia's hand and, with a broad smile, said, "Mom, I have someone very special to introduce to you. This is Olivia, the woman I plan to spend the rest of my life with." Olivia looked at Rebecca, and for a brief moment her face turned pale, but she quickly regained her composure. Rebecca, sitting at the table, stood up and faced Olivia with a piercing look. "Ah, yes, Olivia," Rebecca said calmly, extending her hand. "It's a pleasure to finally meet you officially." Olivia shook Rebecca's hand, feeling a mixture of fear and surprise. She knew she was in trouble but couldn't let it show. The lunch began with sociable conversation, but the tension in the air was palpable. Ethan, noticing the strangeness, asked, "Is everything all right, Mom? You seem a bit serious." Rebecca took a deep breath, knowing it was time to reveal the truth. "Ethan, I think we need to talk about something very important that happened while you were away." Olivia, sitting next to Ethan, began to sweat nervously. "What's going on here?" Ethan asked, confused. Rebecca looked directly into her son's eyes and began to tell him everything, from the moment she posed as a housekeeper to the humiliations she endured and the evidence she found of Olivia's plan to steal money from him. "Wait, what?" Ethan was stunned. "You posed as a housekeeper? Why?" Rebecca explained her intention to test Olivia's true nature and how, during this process, she discovered that Olivia was not who she appeared to be. Olivia, seeing her facade crumble, tried to intervene. "Ethan, this is ridiculous. Your mother is making all of this up." "She didn't like me," Olivia exclaimed desperately. Ethan, still in shock, looked at Olivia. "Do you have anything to say about her accusations? 'Cause this is very serious." Rebecca then took out a series of documents and photos from her bag that proved Olivia's intentions. "Here are the proofs, Ethan. She was planning to transfer a large sum of money from your account to hers." Olivia, desperate, tried to grab the documents. Ethan stopped her. "Is this true, Olivia?" Ethan's voice was filled with pain and disappointment. Olivia, cornered, began to stutter. "Ethan, I can explain. This isn't what it looks like." "Enough," Ethan interrupted, standing up from the table. "I trusted you, Olivia. I thought you were different." Rebecca remained firm, watching her son face the harsh reality. Olivia, realizing there was nothing more she could do, fell silent, tears welling in her eyes. Ethan looked at his mother with gratitude and sadness. "Thank you, Mom, for showing me the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you." Rebecca embraced her son, feeling a mix of relief and sadness for him. "I just want the best for you, Ethan. Always." Olivia, realizing there was no way to reverse the situation, began to cry. "Ethan, please don't do this. We can overcome this together. I love you." But Ethan was unwavering. "What you call love, Olivia, I call betrayal. Leave now, before I lose what little control I have left." The lunch ended abruptly, and the tension in the mansion was palpable. Olivia knew her life with Ethan was over, and the price of her dishonesty would be high. Meanwhile, Ethan, still in shock, began to process everything that had happened, knowing his mother had once again demonstrated her wisdom and unconditional love. Rebecca, watching Olivia leave the mansion in tears, felt a mix of relief and sadness. She knew that despite everything, Ethan was suffering. She approached her son and hugged him. "I'm sorry you had to go through this, my dear, but it was necessary for you to know the truth." Ethan, still shaken, held his mother tightly. "Thank you, Mom. I don't know what I would do without you. You saved me from a disaster." After the revelation of the irrefutable evidence of Olivia's crimes, Ethan decided it was time to take the case to justice. He contacted his lawyers to present the evidence and ensure Olivia paid for her actions. In the days that followed, Ethan made an important decision. He decided to make a significant donation to several charities in Rebecca's name, as a way of thanking and honoring his mother's courage and integrity. He realized that the experience, although painful, had taught him valuable lessons about trust and integrity. Rebecca, in turn, felt proud of her son. She knew that despite the suffering, he had grown and become an even better person. And together, they decided to move forward, stronger and more united than ever.